The Joe Rogan Experience.
That's another thing that people don't want to hear. They don't want to hear that, but there's a thrill to shooting.
I mean, think about it. Like I've taken some courses, like a course I take in New Mexico. We're shooting out to 600, sometimes 1,000 meters.
That's crazy.
Nutty.
That's so far.
But then you also talk about how beautiful it is.
People love long-range shooting. They get very addicted.
I'm getting there.
When you get to 1,000 yards, what's the amount of time between boom and dink?
Man, it's extremely noticeable. But here's where it's really trippy. I don't know the exact seconds because it all depends on you're talking about different bullet speeds.
We should tell people what dink means.
Yeah.
You're hitting a metal target.
Maybe still target, yeah. So the crazy thing is when you're watching it through your optic, you see the impact.
Vapor trail.
Yes, you see the vapor trail, and then you see the impact, but you don't hear anything. And then you see it, ding, and you're like, whoa.
It takes time for it to come back to you.
Yeah, because sound travels slower. Yeah, it's crazy. Because the bullet's literally traveling faster than the speed of sound. People don't realize that.
Yeah.
And it's nutty, man. And then you take that, you couple that with being in a beautiful environment. Oh my gosh, you can't beat it, bro.
Yeah, when I've shot at the range, I've really only shot rifles up to like 200 yards, and that you hear boom dink.
Yeah.
So there is a difference, though. It's not instantaneous.
Yeah. You still get the delay.
Because otherwise you wouldn't even hear the dink.
Yeah,
you would just be drowned out by the boom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of times is like that's how suppressors work.
Right.
Because people think suppressors make things super, super, super quiet. They really don't. Because all the suppressor doing is it's mitigating the noise at the muzzle.
Right.
And people don't realize that when a bullet breaks the sound barrier, you get a crack. So when you shoot a gun, typically speaking, you're hearing two sounds at once. You're hearing the bullet leave the muzzle, and then you're hearing the crack of the bullet break the sound barrier because it's traveling that fast. So it's like a cacao, but it sounds like it's happening at once auditorily.
Right.
But so when you put a suppressor on it, people are surprised because once it mitigates the noise at the muzzle, all you're hearing is the sound of the action if it's not a bolt action, and then you're hearing the bullet break the sound barrier.
Right.
And so it's kind of cool actually when you hear it. Now, granted, you don't want to do that too much because it's still damaging to your ears. That's what a lot of people don't realize that.
What about a suppressor with subsonic ammo?
That's the only one where it actually gets really damn quiet. But the problem is unless you're shooting a bolt action, the sound of that bolt smacking back and forth is loud as hell too.
But what about a pistol?
Same thing. Because you get
smack.
Yeah, you get the sound of the slide racking back and forth. So unless you're shooting a bolt action, you want to get as quiet as possible. Use a bolt action. A bolt action with subsonic rounds.
The opposite of a suppressor is a muzzle brake, and I have a rifle with a muzzle brake, and it mitigates the kick a lot.
But it also
it's so loud. People get mad.
Yeah, because you're outside of the cone of the blast,
right?
And so everybody on the side of you is getting hit by that blast.
They get fucked up by that blast.
It's nuts, man.
They're really loud.
But it makes shooting a gun so much more enjoyable.
Yeah, it's like 50% less recoil.
Yeah.
It really feels like.
So it's like either one. Because suppressors do the same thing. Suppressors mitigate the recoil too. So, so you can go suppressor or you can go. Now, and I tell people all the time, the whole suppressor thing, I think that's a health issue.
I think so too.
I think it's a health issue.
For your ears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's loud, man. Like, people don't realize.
They have this ignorant idea that people are going to sneak up on people and shoot them and no one's going to hear anything.
You mean the same way people do with knives?
Yeah. Yeah. You can buy them everywhere. But I mean, they think it's going to be like the movies.
It does not happen like that.
No,
it's not.
It's pretty loud.
It's loud. It's like I told you. Like I don't shoot when I shoot suppressed. I still wear ear protection.
Oh yeah.
Like people don't realize. Like why are you wearing? Like people in my videos. Like why are you wearing ear protection?
Because
it's still loud.
They hunt with suppressors and they do it out of courtesy for the other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, it really would be good for people if they had suppressors. Yeah. But it's a thing in California. I think they're totally illegal.
Yeah. Oh no, you can't have suppressors in California.
But I think it's also an ignorant thing. I think it's people that don't understand.
Well, because you have people making policies based on movies.
Right. Exactly.
Movies.
Well, in all due defense, this is where we actually make the movies. So
they're
very influenced by them here.